Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lee Mills. I'm the founder, CEO of Pixely AI.
What does Pixely do?
Pixely makes it super simple, fast, and easy for building owners, construction professionals, any type of field service technician to document their projects with photos that are time, date, location stamped, along with videos powered by AI. So we help people prove their work, streamline communication collaboration, stop the chaos of sharing photos via email and text, and reduce disputes because every project has disputes, but 30% of them go to court, which means litigation, which is very expensive. So we basically improve the lives of anybody who's got to prove their work.
I love that. And you've got a story prepared for us today. Where in this world does that story begin?
So many stories, so little time. Can I come on the podcast more than once?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's see, I put myself through school. I served on board an aircraft carrier for 4 years, and then I jumped into tech. I've been in tech, early stage startups for the last 20 plus years. And I was all in on just chasing money and getting rich and doing everything that people think that tech startups are all about without understanding or realizing that I was giving up weekends, vacations, family time, my health. I was stressing balls. I was just working like a maniac, just chasing dollars. I was having some fun. I learned a lot and I did a lot of really, really cool stuff. But it wasn't until 2016 I had a major wake up call. I was riding my bicycle by my house on the 101. I live in San Diego, and the 101 is a highway along the coast. It's a beautiful, beautiful ride or drive. And a car pulled out of a parking lot and hit me. And all I remember is waking up on the side of the road. I had no idea what happened to me. Completely got my bell rung. Went to the hospital. I broke my shoulder, broke my arm, broke all my ribs, collapsed a lung. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. And all I could think about is, I got to get back to work. I got to get back to work. This is the one. It's going to change my life. It's going to change my life. I should have taken a year off at least. But I went back to work within just short of a month. And during that 1 month, there was a bunch of people trying to steal my accounts. It was insane politics. It was just sales at all costs. It was just not the best culture. And that's when I realized, like, life is short. For one, could have been dead for sure. I was going through all this pain of rehabbing, and I couldn't do a push up. I couldn't surf. I couldn't ride a bike. There's a lot of things I couldn't do. And it was just a major wake up call with who I am and what I'm doing with my life and how I want to spend my time. And so that's when I pretty much decided I wanted to go back to being a founder and write my own story, do things my way, and only work with people I like and trust, that have high integrity, and build things that are meaningful and change people's lives, and enjoy the ride, and not just chase money, but enjoy the whole entire experience.
I dig it.
That's it at a
Now,
very high level. Yeah.
yeah, I want to go deeper.
What-
So it was a month before you went back to work.
Yeah.
The insight of life is short and I got to change my life didn't happen until after you went back to work, right? You actually hit all these issues that you're talking about, or did you have, tell me how long it took for you to have the realization. Where were you and what were you doing when you finally were like, ah,
The realization started when I was in the hospital, for
okay.
sure. Laying there. For one, I was super disappointed that another human being could hit somebody with their car and leave them there. That was hard pill to swallow. And then when I went back to work, it really hit me in the face, because there was people that I liked and I trusted that were just trying to basically steal food off my plate. And I'm not going to settle for that. Like, don't disrespect me. I tried to solve it on my own and I thought I could, but I couldn't. And I went to my boss and he didn't help me. And that's when I realized, what am I doing with my time? And I just put so much time and energy and stress into that. And I took care of myself before, but many sleepless nights. I missed out on one of my friends getting married. I chose to go to a work conference instead. Guys, just making really bad decisions. And I realized, tomorrow is not promised. I've also had a few other things happen to me. I broke my back riding my dirt bike in the late 90s. So I'm lucky to survive that. And I've had some pretty gnarly surf wipeouts too. But the car thing was a serious wake up call. Like, what am I doing with my time? How am I doing it? And how do I still chase making a bunch of money and being successful and enjoying that, but put my own personal life and spirituality and health, and manage my stress, because my stress was just completely out of control, and make that my priority. Because if you're not healthy, nothing else matters.
Agreed, man. I want to go and pick up the shovel a little bit on something that you've probably already buried in the past, but I want to dive into it just a little bit and then we can cover it back up and
Okay.
put a headstone on it. So the the stealing off your plate. What do you mean? What was going on? And
So
follow-up question is, if you had taken a year off, like you had mentioned at the beginning, would the food have just been stolen off your plate and you wouldn't have known about it? Would you have not gotten the food stolen off your plate? Like, what would have
so
changed if you had taken a longer break, and what was actually being taken from you?
yeah, so as soon as I decided I was gonna go back to work, I updated all my Salesforce records. We had Salesforce as our CRM. We had named accounts. I had named accounts. And I'm literally walking into my named account, my customer, and there's another rep walking out of the door who had just met with them and didn't tell me they were meeting with them and disregarded my Salesforce note. So that is that's what happened.
Did they close the deal, or did you scoop it back?
Uh, in some cases, I scooped it back. In some cases, they took the deal.
So there were several
And then there
instances.
were
So
other,
someone went
and there
in.
were, so I had San Diego, Southern California as my territory, and there's other reps just going in and trying to steal stuff off my. So commit, when you're at that time, I was mostly did some product marketing stuff too, but I was mainly a commission sales executive, enterprise sales executive. So you know, don't mess with the man's commissions.
Agreed, yeah. I mean,
So
it sounds
I'm
like.
very, that's like the integrity. Like here's a sales playbook. Here's the rules. If you're not going to play, you have to play by the rules. Like they're there for a reason.
So I went through and I've talked about this a lot on the podcast. Everyone's probably sick of hearing from me on this, but I was born and raised a Mormon. And when I left the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, one of the first exercises that I was encouraged to do was to lay out all of my values and select them. And I went through this consolidation exercise where it's like, all right, it's really important for me to have integrity, and it's really important for me to be honest. And I was like, I can combine those into one, right? Okay, so integrity, right, wins in the comparative value. I was trying to narrow it all down to like 4 or 5. And so I ended up with this list of values that I have in my life now based off of all of these this exercise that I did. I tried to take all the good from what I had experienced growing up in the church and then apply it to my life after. And thankfully I had a lot of really smart people that were encouraging me to do this. They were like, "Hey, if you're out, like that was your foundation, you got to come back and build a new foundation." It sounds like you had to do something similar, that you had this realization about your concept of what it means to be successful and what it means to do work and what it means to make money and what it means to live your life and have health. And you mentioned a couple other things. And so I'm curious, you've mentioned integrity twice. What other values were you able to take from this experience that were able to set the foundation for the rest of your life, where you're able to focus on these things that are more important, your health and your family and stuff like that?
Yeah, the biggest one is like every day is a gift. Every moment is a gift. Every breath is a gift. And to live in the moment and don't look back. I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have kept that job. I should have kept that stock. I should have whatever. All that does is cause depression, and don't look too forward in the future. That just causes anxiety, and just be like totally present and just remember like I just have like this massive gratitude mindset because I could be dead. I could be paralyzed. I could be in way worse shape. No matter what comes at me, I have no problems and I can handle anything.
Presence.
I work
Ironic.
at that. Like I have my moments, but that's my general super optimistic, glass half full, unstoppable mindset.
I get so caught up in it. My ironic wisdom, presence, integrity, gratitude, and self mastery. Those are mine. And I've worked on those and I've worked on them and I've workshopped them, and I've now like incorporated them into the fabric of all of my ventures. And so if you had to narrow it down, do you have them listed out? Did you go through any sort of exercise like that? Or is it just like how do you, how do you keep your compass pointed north? It sounds like never give up, don't look backwards, stay present. What else is on that list of like modicums and insights that you use to govern your life?
Be a good person, do the right thing, pay it forward.
It's a good list.
You know, yeah,
So here's
it's
a question.
I didn't all. I did have one massive revelation though, which I meant to touch on. So, have you been to Burning Man?
I have not.
I think everybody should go at one time. At least once, maybe not more than twice, it depends. But I was at Burning Man and I was caught up all in my head. I should have done this, I should have done that. And I was trying to work through a whole bunch of stuff. And Burning Man, yes, it's a big party in the desert, but there's a lot more to it. I can't even begin to get into it. It's like explaining the color purple to a blind person. But anyway, I had a staff of all these things I was going to burn away and like just wipe them off. Right. And I had this massive revelation and everything that happened, everything, however good, however bad, in between, painful, heartbreak, physical pain, whatever the fuck it was, that was supposed to happen. And that's why it happens. Period. That's it. It doesn't need any other explanation. And that gave me a massive sense of peace to just come to that. That was my actualization, realization. Like everything's going to be okay.
Boy, how old were you when you went to Burning Man?
Um, in my 40s,
Okay, so man, I I get
30s,
caught in the
40s.
trip. I get caught in the trip often. I know a lot of people who listen do as well. You think that it's not gonna work. You think that you're not gonna hit your quota, and maybe you don't, right? A lot of people hit these colossal failures, and it seems like it's all gonna burn down, we're not gonna pay our bills, we're in the negative, like, I don't see it, Lee, like, I don't have it, I'm not doing it, I'm not making it, right? Like, it's not working out for me.
I've been there many times.
Talk us through it. How do you
Yeah.
keep the mindset of, like, just letting it ride and being stress-free about it when there's red in the bank account and, like, we just lost our biggest account, you know what I mean?
It's okay to have stress. You just have to manage it. Stress is not a bad thing. Our bodies are designed to survive and thrive through stress. You just have to manage that through mindset, exercise. That's why I do yoga, the gym, and everything else. But so after that company and a few other things I did, when I decided to start Pixely, it was the fall of 2019. I had lots of validation from former customers, letters of intent that they were going to buy it. And I wanted, because it's not my first startup rodeo, I wanted to raise as little money as possible to keep as much control as possible and just build the MVP, get some early sales. There's a path for this, right? There's a proven playbook for it that I was following, but nobody planned for COVID. So we burned through that money. And part of my story is I hired the wrong co-founder. And that was a very painful lesson. So that co-founder did not manage our engineering spend well enough. And by the time we burned through our first angel round, the product, it was okay-ish. It was really an MVP. The most valuable feature didn't work. So I couldn't demo it or consistently didn't work. So I couldn't demo it and I couldn't sell it. And I'm like, well, fuck, what am I going to do? I'm like, well, I believe in it. My early investors believed in it. I'm going all in. And so I started living off my life savings and kept putting money into the business and kept getting letters of intent and kept improving it. And then changed the structure of the company. That co-founder is no longer with us. He did help us get to a certain stage, but he's no longer with us. Rebuilt the board, rebuilt the cap table. He did everything. And then in 2022, the military actually came back into my life and I was invited to present at the Military Influencer Conference for a startup pitch competition. And so 135 veteran CEOs, founders submitted or applied to present. I made it to the finals. So I was one of the 5 finals on stage with about 500 people. And one of the best things I've ever done for myself is Toastmasters. I highly recommend anybody goes to Toastmasters, learn how to do public speaking. Yes, it can be terrifying, but it'd be the highest high of your life too. Anyway, I won the pitch contest. That was $100,000 from the veteran fund. I poured that all back into the business, right? And got us to where we are today. And so now we're close to 3,600 users, 32 customers. We had valuable IP. I've just raised some capital, which is a huge win in our sales from some strategic investors that believe in me and the business and the problem that we solve. But I've had some hard days, like, because being a founder is super lonely, super lonely. So if you can find other founders to surround yourself with or just talk to once in a while, it makes a big difference. But you have to be, the whole lesson tying into this whole conversation is like, I worked my ass off. I did all these startups. I wasted all this time. I did all these things. Like, you have to be your own best friend. For a long time, I was not my own best friend, but now I am. So I put myself first. And for me to be a good CEO and a good founder, I have to wake up. I have to have gratitude. I have to do the work. I mean, there's days you could have the highest high and the lowest low all in the same day. You could have a brand new customer come on board and one customer turn. You have one investor say, I'm wiring the money, and another bigger investor say, I changed my mind. I mean, that's all happened to me. But if you believe in what you're doing and your customers believe in what you're doing, most importantly, before you build anything, make sure people will pay for it, and give you feedback and build what they want and need, not what you want and need. And those are kind of like the most important things. Believe in yourself, believe in your product, but you have to have customers that are willing to pay for it and renew. So if none of my customers are renewing, I'd know, okay, the writing's on the wall. But they renew and they ask for features. And we've been approved to partner and integrate with all the big players in the space. And I've got a new influx of capital. And so I mean, it's been hockey stick road, but I'm getting up here now.
So yoga, gym, gratitude in the morning, gratitude all day, just living in gratitude.
Yeah.
Uh,
I have a gratitude mantra I say in the morning and at night, sometimes during the day.
can you share it
You want
with
to
me?
hear it? You
Yeah,
want to hear it?
please.
Oh, sure. I thank God. I thank the universe. I thank all the love and light. I thank the angels. I thank Jesus. I thank my spirit guides, my gurus, my ancestors, my family, my friends, my love for another day, another moment, another breath, another opportunity to be a better human being and make the world a better place.
Man, I'm gonna marinate on that for a minute.
It's good.
Lately I've been leaning into this idea of life as a video game. So my mantra, I have a ton of mantras that have helped me, and one of the ones that I've recently grasped onto is that life is a game. Right? So this is what I'm repeating to myself in the morning in the mirror. Life is a game. I defeat elite bosses. I I'm just slaughtering it because I'm writing it down new every day. It's a new offer for me. Yeah. Life is a game. I am here to reach the max level by defeating elite bosses, completing epic quests, and acquiring legendary items. I do it for the plot.
I love it. That's great. I also think heaven and hell are right here, right now. That's what we make out of it, you know? That's why
So
your heart could be in the right place, your soul could be in the right place, but your mind can be your worst enemy. And that's why you have to talk yourself and you have to be positive and it takes energy and it takes work and you got to be around people that support you. If you're around people that don't believe you or don't support you, then you're around the wrong people. Drop those people like a rock right now.
how did you find your closest like entrepreneurial confidants, right? Your team, your squad, your five, people that you surround yourself with the most. How do you find those
Yeah,
people and how do you know that they're the right people for you?
a couple ways. Like I've been in startups for a long time and many, many years ago when the internet was just starting, believe it or not, people didn't know how to build a website or send an email or do analytics. And so we started a group called iMarketers. And iMarketers was for marketers by marketers about internet marketing. And it started off with just a handful of guys, like 4 or 5, 6 guys having beers like, hey, how'd you do this? Well, I went through the logs and I found the IP address for this user. And then it became invite only. You had to be an in-house marketer, became a couple dozen people, then it became a couple hundred people. And we'd have different marketers come in and say, here was my problem. Here's how I solved it. Here's how I solved it. Here's the results. And here's how you can go back to your desk and do it the next day. That turned into a lead generation source because even with all that information, some people didn't have the time or energy. And that's when I was doing a lot of fractional CMO marketing work. But some of those people are still some of my most trusted friends. And then I'm involved in a group in San Diego called Connect. So Connect is kind of like in between an incubator and accelerator, but they help founders. And so if you have an idea, you can come in and they'll bring in people to help you with your pitch deck. Somebody help with your financial model. I'll come in and help with like the sales and marketing, go to market strategy. So I met people through that and they have an event once in a while just for founders where you connect with other founders. Other people I've met in the industry, I've connected. Make it a point to connect with other founders and CEOs in your industry. That's super important for partnerships, for ideation, for anything else. One of the investors I'm most excited about is a founder CEO for a top tier platform in my industry, and he's also one of my most recent angel investors. But those guys understand it the most. And other founders want to help other founders be successful because we know how fucking hard it is.
It's fucking
Right.
hard.
So there's people out there that want to help you. Like I want to help. My heart goes out to any other founder, especially a veteran founder, but I will try to help any founder I can. Even if it's just like I get pitched a lot. I've done some angel investing. I'm not doing that right now, but a lot of people hit me up for angel investing, and I'm like, I like what you're doing. I believe you can do it. I can't invest, but I can cheer for you, and I mean it. and I'll send you good vibes. And even that's helpful.
Lee, where can everyone find you?
LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/Lee Mills. I should be really easy to find. Pixely.ai is our website. You can find Pixely really easy in either of the app stores. We are the B2B platform for project documentation and collaboration with AI. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram and anywhere else. And I look forward to connecting with anybody. And thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Right on.